Welcome to Alaska Babble, where they babble and I gaggle. Today we are joined by Dr. Susan Lester, a
Retired.
retired. Okay,
Happily, happily
this is
retired.
like the 50th take I've taken. So, a retired educator from the Talbot County School District. She is here today to talk to us about her experience as an educator, how things were, how things are, and how things may go. So it's a pleasure to have her on the show to talk about her lived experiences.
Well, I'm excited and honored that you came all the way from Alaska to do this interview with me.
It's a long way to
I,
go.
yes, it
You know,
is.
I was very, I'm still very jet lagged.
Oh,
Yeah, still very jet lagged this hour.
oh,
The 4 hour difference is pretty
well,
crazy.
4 hours. It's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like going to Europe almost.
it pretty much is. The flight was actually not that bad, so I can't really complain about that.
Well, it's really nice to see my former students and to know that you've come so far. You're so multi-talented. I've watched you since high school, taught yourself how to play the piano, right?
Yeah,
Got into the nursing program or the medical field
I did for a while.
and became a pilot.
Well,
Uh,
I did a lot of lessons becoming a pilot. I didn't exactly finish,
oh, well,
unfortunately.
you might.
One day, it got really expensive flying, so I had to stop for a while.
And now you picked up your high school training and become a teacher. I think it's amazing.
Well,
I'm very gratified.
yeah, as far as my own journey to doing different things, I like to call it the Peter Pan complex, right?
Oh,
I don't know if you have you ever heard of Dr. Jordan Peterson before?
doesn't sound familiar.
Well, he's a psychologist from Canada, and he talked about the Peter Pan complex, where this is why I tell a lot of my students when they always ask me, well, what should I do when I'm done, right? And I always tell them, well, right now you're in a place where you have this unlimited potential, right? You have this unlimited potential of what you want to do. And you're asking me, what one thing do you want to put that unlimited potential in? And usually when they're 16 or 20,
It's
they're
too
never going to know.
early. That really feeds into, my history because right out of high school, I got married, had a child. A few years later, I was divorced, a single mother, trying to make a living, and never had gone to college.
Yeah.
And then after I married again, I started taking classes. I was tired of going to lunch every day
You're tired of going to lunch?
with the girls. It
Okay.
was it was boring.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something else. So I started going back to school and eventually I said, well, I'm getting done with this. So I went full time and got my teaching degree when I was like 35.
That's
So
actually really
yeah,
inspiring.
there you
Yeah,
go.
because I finished recently. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then I kept going and got my master's degree and never stopped. And I started doing a doctoral degree.
Hmm.
And by the time I was in my late 40s, I was done with school. And soon after that, I retired. So,
So
but
you were done with school, but you went back to school to teach.
I did. When we moved here, my husband retired because there's a big age difference.
Okay.
He retired and I went to work. So
Right.
he was being the house husband and fixing the meals when I, came home and I was earning the living. And so we had switched roles and that was nice. But then when I retired, the roles went back. I had to do all the housework and the cooking again. So,
Man.
but it was interesting because you can do whatever you want to do at whatever age you are. You can always go back and do something new.
And I absolutely agree. I really do believe that people have the potential to change whatever they do in the course of their career. I mean, for me, it was like I was in healthcare for many, many years, right?
Hmm.
12. Since I was when I turned 19, I went to healthcare at the CNA and didn't stop until I was 29. And incidentally, after
You can't be that old.
I am, I
You're
actually am.
very old.
Yeah. Eventually, I stumbled upon CyberLink's correspondence program, and that's where I really fell in love with education after that. And it comes to a genuine joy of helping students reach their maximum potential,
That's great.
right?
Yeah.
Because the populace that I deal with are at-risk youth. That,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
It's actually there. It's a correspondence program where the Anchor School District, they refer these students to us because um, they're not keeping up with the pace of what ASD is
And
requiring.
I think that's so important because every single child deserves a good education.
Absolutely.
But if you have kids that don't operate well in the normal classroom, there needs to be a different place for them
Yeah.
because the other kids aren't getting their education with all of the extra stimulus and things that you have to deal with.
And I absolutely agree with that. From what I've noticed with a lot of, including myself and a lot of students, is that, and this is going to be my biggest issue with education in general, the way it's modeled, right, is that we expect every student to learn at the exact same rate when that's
Hmm.
not how the brain works. With neuroplasticity in general, the
Big
brain
word.
develops,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Right.
Neuroplasticity is the way it's a fancy way of saying the brain grows. It's
Uh-huh.
not static as that's it once was believed
Yeah.
to be, but it grows when new neurological pathways are made, and every brain is different.
Yeah.
There is a certain developmental growth, like you can pace it, but everyone's paced so differently too,
But
right?
it also you come with all kinds of baggage too. Some kids,
Absolutely.
you can't imagine how they even get to school. They
Yeah.
feed themselves, they, do their own housework or laundry or whatever and get their siblings to school too. And nobody sees that.
No, and
And they're dealing with all of that.
yeah, it's those extreme barriers, and that's what CyberLinks is really trying to eliminate as much as possible, is those barriers
Glad to hear that.
for
That's
people
good.
for those students, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true. I mean, public school was not is not generally the best avenue for every student,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I really do feel when students come to our program, they essentially flunked out of public school. They always feel terrible about it
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, all kids want to do well, right? That's the reality.
I
All
think
kids want
so.
to do well.
Yeah.
They may not say it, they may not express it, but they all want to be successful at the end of the day. And sometimes what it needs to be is just eliminating the fat of high school to give them the curriculum that they need so they can actually be able to grow the way they need to. And I have a couple examples of students like that. One of my favorite students, yeah, this is a good shout out for you. You know who you are. He graduated at 16, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Amazing student. I've had about 7 or 8 16-year-olds graduate.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because
And
they're not plocked into the
they're
schedule
not plugged
system
into
and
the schedule
they,
system.
okay. I've been stung 3 days in a row, so I'm a little nervous about
You
bees.
should just get the
I don't even see them coming.
but yeah, he amazing student. So he graduated at 16. He had two jobs at the same time, right? Driving his own vehicle, but and on top of that, he actually the amazing thing, he wanted to really become a mechanic, right? So he called every mechanic shop to find an apprenticeship until one of them actually took him in.
Aw, that's
So he,
advocating for himself.
yeah, he's a wonderful student, and I'm very fortunate to keep in contact with him still. And I can gush over that kid as long as because he's kind of like I love all my students,
You
but
have some attachment. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
there's always a certain amount of attachment you get from students,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
just to see him become that really successful kid is just an amazing story to me.
That is,
So
that's heartwarming. Yeah.
yeah, and
That's why we're in the business.
it's really is because educators don't get paid that much, but
Mm-hmm.
the reward of seeing, at least for me, the reward of seeing these kids be able to become something that they didn't think they would become is
Mm-hmm.
always heartwarming for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what I tell all my students is that as much as I teach them, they teach me too, right? So,
Yeah.
it's always a humbling feeling that it's always a back and forth with it.
Right.
So,
And I'm so happy about Facebook.
right?
I know. I know everybody like puts it down or whatever, but I can see them growing and having families and kids and what they're doing. And I just love it. I just love seeing them and having them come back from molasses.
Sometimes it just happens. The fates aligned this time, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see you again. Honestly, I
Me
didn't think
too.
it would happen. If you asked me a year ago would I ever come back to the Eastern Shore, I would say, hell no. I don't know why I would go. So, but
Well,
it's a great
this is the
opportunity.
land of pleasant living. You have to remember that. In a
Yeah.
little while, I'll take you down to the dock and we can look at. We'll bring up the crab traps.
The crab traps.
Got them baited and ready to haul them in.
I have a really good story about
Oh,
that.
oh yeah.
Okay. With my wife, right? When we were dating, she once said that if I broke up with her, she would put me in a crab pot.
And they'd never find the body.
No, they never would because the crabs would eat it, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's so true.
and that was like maybe 5 days before I proposed to her the first time.
Oh, she made you do it more than once.
Three times.
Oh,
Three
okay.
times actually. It took three times to get it right. Third time's always the charm.
Uh,
So yeah.
uh,
It was super funny because the first time I we were in the car and I was like, Megan, I've been thinking a lot about us and I'm just imagining what our life would be together. And she thought I was actually breaking up with her, right?
oh,
She
that's
thought
a
I was
twist.
breaking up with her. And then I didn't have a ring or anything, right? So I was like, damn it, Megan, are you gonna marry me or not? And
Aw,
she's like, yeah. And then she
this is
calls
a
me the next.
practice one.
No, it must have been, right? Because the practice one was really funny. She said, okay, right? And
No rose petals.
no
No.
rose petals. It was very unromantic, right? So, she said yes. She calls the next day and asks, "Are we actually engaged?" And I'm like, "Well, you said yes."
So clarify that for me.
Yeah, I need clarification. I'm not sure what happened. The second time, she was doing her nails, and I actually had a ring, and I just bent down and proposed while she was doing her nails, and she said, "Okay." Because I
This
just
is the
had the
worst timing.
worst timing. The third time, it was actually before not engagement, but before our wedding day, like 2 days before.
Oh,
Yeah, because we
oh.
actually got in a huge fight over an apartment, and it was like I want to say it's like one of the worst fights we still have ever gotten into. And it was actually in an island, Vank Island, where she's a 7-day Adventist, so she had a lot of memories there, and we paddled
Oh.
to a remote spot, and I actually proposed to her there. I don't know if you saw the video, but there's a video of it, so she can't say that I didn't do it. And she actually said, "Yes, I'll marry you," and we actually got married. So, anyways, that I went through a big soapbox on that one. But going back to the topic at hand, you became an educator later on. What was your inspiration to becoming an educator?
I had been in the business world, in manufacturing. I was a secretary or assistant to the manager, and I had also done some work for the superintendent of schools. I was in their office, and so and I felt like everybody said, "Oh, you get summers off. You can be with your kids."
That's a lie. That's a
It's
lie. It's a
such a
lie.
lie.
It's a lie.
You
You
don't
just
know
don't
that
get
till
you just don't get paid.
that's
That's what it
right.
is. You don't get paid.
So yeah, under that premise, I thought it would be a good idea.
Mhm.
So I majored in business education, um, because I had a lot of business background and felt like I could do a good job, teaching business. So they threw me into the classroom. I had three interviews on the Eastern Shore: Queen Anne, Kent, and Talbot. And years earlier, well, after we got married, we always vacationed in Ocean City. So we traveled from Ohio and then from New York, where we moved, and then from Pennsylvania. We always came through here and we
Okay.
loved it. And my husband was from Baltimore and he'd always spent time on the shore as a child.
Okay.
And he knew he wanted to retire on the shore. So one time we were going home from the ocean and just on a whim stopped at a real estate agent's shop on Route 50, and they showed us some lots and we purchased one to
This lot
build
right
on.
here, or
No, no, that's part of the thing. It was down the Neck District, which you probably don't understand where that is, but it's further from town.
okay.
This is. and it was another half hour drive. But it was beautiful. It was all on the water, and we were planning to build there. So when it came time to retire and come here, we like over one weekend we decided we we can't spend a whole year building the house and living in another. We don't want to move twice, was what it ended up. So we said, oh, let's just buy a house.
Right.
So we did. And this is what it was. And we kept the lot for a while, but then we ended up selling it and putting a whole addition. We had downsized from a very large home
Okay.
and had to sell all our lot of furniture and, years of accumulated stuff and moved here to this tiny little house. And we ended up, the kids started getting married and bringing their kids and their dogs, and we didn't have any room for them. So we doubled the size of our house.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Well, it's a beautiful home.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
We love it here. And the neighborhood is great. And we've just had a wonderful life here.
that's great. That's really great to hear.
Yeah.
So during that time you were moving over here and purchasing the home, you got a job at Talbot County.
Yeah. Yes, that the Talbot County one is the job I picked because it was closer to where we wanted to live.
Okay.
Um, Looking back, I think I would have been better off in Queen Anne's County.
Probably because Talbot County is pretty far away. So I didn't
Well,
realize you had to do such a commute
yeah.
to get to school over here.
Yeah.
That is just
Well,
nuts.
I read a lot of books, well, audiobooks
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
way.
I know
It
what you
was
mean.
good to do,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed that. And it's a nice drive. It wasn't, a lot of traffic or anything. Straight in and straight back out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, uh, it wasn't bad.
So you only worked for the Talbot County Public School? Do you work for the other
No,
district?
I just well, in those years, I did do some teaching for Salisbury, but I did
Okay.
it at Chesapeake College
Okay.
in the teaching program.
Hmm.
And I also taught at Chesapeake for some adult classes
Okay.
once in a while. Um, I don't know how I fit it all in, but I did. Plus going to school at night and during the summer, you know, it's always lifelong learner.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Going back to you were mentioning I did all these other this, that, and that, and doodads, right?
Yeah,
And I think it just comes down to is I like to understand a lot of different things, right? And that's really
yeah,
what it comes down to being a lifelong learner. And what helps me with my current job is just because I know a little bit of everything. So it helps
yeah.
me connect to students, right?
I feel sorry for kids today that their face is in their computer or their phone 24/7 and they don't look around and they don't go outside and they don't
Touch the
commit.
grass.
Yeah,
They don't touch the
that's
grass.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
y-
it.
I've done a lot of research when it comes to Gen Z students in
Uh-huh.
general,
Uh-huh.
right? And they, in comparison to my generation or generations before, with the mix of 9/11 and,
And
with
COVID.
COVID made it so bad.
Oh
COVID made it
yeah,
a lot worse.
it was
Like
no kidding.
brilliant students were being left behind because of COVID and, being growing up with technology in general because I was fortunate that I was in a generation that was the bridge to what we're at right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because now the parenting techniques is using, phones as babysitters essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it difficult for social integration to happen. So I see a lot of students become really shy and reserved to where I would
They
say
don't know how to talk to
they
other
don't know
people.
how to talk very much to other people, and that's always been a little bit disconcerting for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Which, comes back to really another part of education that I strongly believe is, bringing that. Yeah, I said that to you online. It's like philosophia, right? Do you know what? Do you know the term philosophia?
no.
So Plato, when he made the original, university, right? His philosophy was philosophia, the love of academia, right?
Okay,
In order
I was
for
out of not in my repertoire.
No, no, don't worry.
It's
It's not
okay.
most. It's really. I actually got it from a conference,
That's
right? I
okay.
went to a conference,
Okay.
and it was the philosophy of education and where do we go from now, right? And that really spoke to me
Yeah.
because I never thought of that way. Is that the one thing that I say in education, because we're so focused on test scores, and
It's been,
data, right? Which has always been the bane of existence for any educator, right? Because we have to
yeah,
focus on that. We're not really connecting on the intimate level of
what interests
filio.
the kid. Well,
Yeah, yeah, of that interest, right?
yeah,
Because if you show the love of academia, if you show them love, like we care for you,
yeah.
we want to be there for you,
And we want them to love it.
and they want them to love it.
Yeah.
And I I want to say arguably my success came from showing that instead of being so focused on the curriculum,
Mm,
I like to not see them as a data. I like to see them as a whole person. And
yes.
that really helps a lot because when students know that there's people that care for them, they
Mhm.
naturally want to succeed. And I feel like that's being
Absolutely.
forgotten.
Absolutely. And I was so fearful of not following the edicts of the administration because they would make pop in surprise visits.
Yeah.
And if you weren't on a certain page or had a certain lesson plan done and following it,
Hmm.
you would get a write up or, a bad review. And so it was terrifying. You couldn't do as much with the students, free form, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Because if something would come up, follow that line of what they were doing, and they would love it. And it was hard to keep um that going.
Yeah, and
Once in a while, you slip it in, but yeah.
that's a really difficult thing too, because at the end of the day, what we want is success for any student. Like we don't want to see them left behind.
Mm,
But there's a certain way to do it, and we can't use objective, qualitative, not quality, yeah, qualitative metrics to be able to see that, right?
yeah.
Because education in general, the way I see it, is very quantitative in nature.
And when you spend a whole week with just doing testing,
Hmm.
that's a whole week of learning that's gone.
What are they going to do with it? That's the
I,
reality. It's what are they going to do
Well,
after?
they look at, well, this school isn't performing very well. Let's take some money away.
If we focus on the student and have a curriculum that's engaging and also be useful in a practical sense, students are going to learn a lot more from that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think
Yeah.
that's like the downfall of education in general right
Yeah.
now as we see it is why are we test lowest you know
In math and
and
reading
in
and
reading?
all this, all the STEM things.
Yeah,
It's
and
bad.
it's bad because we're only focusing we're focusing the youth as you know
Data.
data
Yeah.
instead of people, and then we're not computers, at least not yet.
Ooh,
Not
yeah.
yet. It
That
may
AI
happen.
is scary.
AI is terrifying. I
Yes.
think it may happen. Oh no,
We're having technical
that's
difficulties.
going to be another cut. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
One of my favorite things that I would teach was in my business classes.
mhm.
The students had to form their own little business
Okay.
and create a product.
Okay.
And that was fun because you could use a lot of creativity with that. And then they had to present it like Shark Tank. And
Okay.
I brought other teachers in to be the panel, and we would videotape it, and the Shark Tank people would ask them questions, and they'd have to know all of their figures for production and how they produce the product, and it was a lot of fun.
No kidding. Did
Yeah,
you watch Shark Tank quite a bit?
I did.
Oh man, there was this, it was before Shark Tank was a show. It was like the previous one to Shark Tank. And there was this one guy that wanted to advertise a game where you get your hands and play ping pong, but not with ping pong, but it's just it's called table ball or something like that,
Oh yeah.
where you would get in front of the table and just slap a ball back and forth until the ball falls out. And he's like, I invested 10 years of my life. I got a divorce. I'm homeless. And I need this right now because this is my invention. This is my life.
And all it was hands.
Yeah, it was hands. It was just bah, bah, just like you need to see the clip because it's actually
Oh, that's
hysterical. Like the
hilarious.
game is really funny because one of the the judges was an actual game maker,
Uh,
right? And he's like, "Oh, I like games," and he goes like, does this dance, the creator. This is how you do it. Use your forearms. So he goes slapping it back and forth, right?
some people just want to get on there for notoriety, I think.
I don't think
Wasn't
so. I think he
serious.
legitimately was invested
You
in
do?
this.
Oh,
Like this was
oh.
his dream. And
Mhm.
it's so sad because he got a divorce, he lost his home, he lives in his car.
Everyone thought he was
Everyone
crazy.
thought I was crazy, and the judge just said, "What are you doing with your life? Why are you why are you losing all this stuff for this game?" Ironically, though, he 10 years later, after the show ended, he had some marginal success with the game
No
because
kidding.
he changed his advertisement to retirement homes. Yeah, so
There you
he
go.
actually made a good
Okay.
picking out of it because of that and saw some moderate success. He wrote a book too. I don't remember the name of it, but it's so funny how invested these guys are for.
They get passionate.
Yeah,
That's what they have to do.
yeah. I can't say I'm that much different, right? Because I do all these little projects to see which one will stick.
You're a man of varied interests, that's for sure.
I just
I
like to see
admire
what
that.
sticks. That's really what's important.
Yeah.
And this podcast is one of those other things, right? It's because
Yeah.
I enjoy talking to people. And I was like, well, why not do
And
a
the winters are
podcast?
long in Alaska.
A little bit too long. Last winter was really good
Oh,
because it barely snowed,
that's
right?
hard to believe.
I know, it barely snowed. The year before that, it was record snow.
Okay. Because
So
last year it came here. I had to have
you're welcome.
my
You're welcome.
well,
I'll do it
the
anytime.
dog loves the snow, I found out.
Does he?
Oh my gosh. I put a little quilted coat on her and she runs around in the snow and it all sticks to her little fluffy fur and then I have to blow dry her 5 times a day.
Oh my gosh.
But she doesn't like the heat. So
Yeah,
you can
I
take her
have.
back to Alaska with you.
Oh, my landlord would not appreciate
No?
that.
Oh,
My
that's too
landlord
bad.
is what you call a
Not a animal lover.
slumlord.
Oh,
He's a slumlord. I'm not ashamed of saying it. You know it. So,
dear.
yeah,
Well, you have to buy a house pretty soon.
that's
If the
hard.
interest rates go
That's
down.
hard, right? Because
Yeah,
I don't know what buying a house here is like, what the price is.
it's the prices here are insane.
Like, how insane are we talking about?
Well, there's a little two-bedroom house down the street. The couple died.
Yeah,
It's still sitting empty. It's two-bedroom.
it's haunted too.
It might be
It might be haunted.
two-bedroom, two bath.
Haunted
It's
house.
never been updated
Okay.
from the 70s,
Hmm.
and it's going for 549.
549.
But it's on the water, and that's what
Yeah,
counts.
so it would actually be twice as expensive in Alaska. Yeah.
You're
No,
kidding.
I'm not joking. 549 is actually for a waterfront. It's pretty decent in Alaska.
Ooh,
But over here,
rewind.
over I would say that would be close to 800,000.
Really?
Yeah, over in Alaska, absolutely. It just depends because everything's really expensive in Alaska.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, really,
Everything
really
has to be
expensive.
transported up.
That's what makes it really expensive. Like I went to the grocery store and I was actually sadly really excited to see what the price will be. And my sister and we bought all these groceries, like so much groceries. And I was getting really jolly because I was seeing the price of it and it went to 138 bucks, right?
Yeah,
I think we ordered like 25, 26 stuff,
yeah.
items,
Two
groceries.
bags.
2 bags. Well, that's true.
That's
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 really
the same
true.
here. I can't get out of the grocery store for under $100 anymore.
It
It's
would,
ridiculous.
it is.
And that's not even with meat.
It's the price of eggs. It's the
Oh,
price of eggs.
yeah.
They just
Well,
keep
no, our
going up.
eggs are
Oh, they're
actually,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, they're down.
Actually, we have a neighbor with chickens, and built a little stand out on the road, and the eggs are free, and they're you know uh just laid out in the wherever the chickens go.
Oh, jeez.
Free range. That's what I'm trying to
Free
say.
range chickens.
And they're free, but you're supposed to donate to the feed. So whatever you pick to
That
pay
seems like
for
a
it.
good deal, though.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there haven't been any eggs for 2 weeks, so we
they
have
need
to.
to do their job.
They're not doing their
They're
job. I
not
don't.
doing their
Is it
job.
the season? I don't know.
It could be.
I don't either. I don't
with
know. But
Alaska.
eggs in the are not bad now. They're bad. They're
No,
back down.
are they? They're back down
Hmm.
because a pack of eggs would cost about $3 and something
Yes,
cents in
it's back
Alaska.
down to that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
back down to that.
Well, yeah. It
It was
used
up.
to.
It was higher.
It was higher. Like yes, it was eight
It was
dollars.
$8. Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
No.
For how many eggs?
A dozen.
That's $8.
That
It
was
was not $8
like
in
around
Alaska, man.
COVID time and after that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was insane.
I
Insane.
I really believe that the the food industry skyrocketed the price of goods when COVID hit because they could.
Well, no, there were some logistics issues, but if you look at grocery store, this is my business thing coming out,
Yeah,
they only make 3 or 4% profit.
sure.
And that's low
Yeah.
compared to other industries. So, but I don't know. McDonald's is coming out with value meals again. So maybe things are coming down.
You know, when I lived in Easton, there was a dollar menu. There's no
Yeah,
dollar menu anymore.
no, no,
Inflation,
no.
man. What are you gonna do?
$3 menu.
$3 menu. You
And
want a
that's,
quarter pounder? Well, that's $3 now. You don't get it for a dollar.
yeah.
My
No, I'm
family.
gonna start using coupons again.
Coupons. Sorry, do you have a coupon for the quarter pounder? No, my family when I was in high school was like dirt poor, broke, right?
Yeah,
And we literally would go to McDonald's and the only thing we could order was like the dollar menu quarter pounder. So
yeah.
I think now if we were if I was a teenager now, we could not even order the quarter pounder anymore. It
No,
was pretty bad.
it's bad. And this is why there's so much obesity. The quarter pounder is probably the cheapest thing. If you want to buy something healthy, the salads are $10
Hmm.
or, more. You have to buy the fattening fries and bread to
But
live
even
on.
to eat healthy is so expensive.
It is.
Like I would
It's
say, I mean, I'm a fat boy, but
you
uh
you bulk up a
I
little, which
bulked
is good.
I bulked up a little. It's actually the winter fur, but just ignore that.
You remember in your ROTC uniform?
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
so handsome.
uh-huh. So yeah, that was funny. I just had a big flashback to that. But you know, we eat pretty healthy. Like we get organic stuff all the time.
That's good.
Like
That's
we
good.
practically almost eat a vegan diet in a lot of ways, right? But yeah, it's so incredibly expensive to do it. It's ridiculously expensive.
You have to go out and hunt those caribou or whatever.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do this winter.
Are ya?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go out and hunt a
Okay.
moose with a friend.
A moose.
Yeah.
Do they have that lottery thing for Alaska or
No, well, they do for certain animals, but not for moose.
oh, moose?
Yeah.
Well, my brother's lives in Minnesota. He had
Yeah.
to put his name into a lottery
Yeah,
to
there's
get.
lottery, but it's more like for mountain goats.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
mountain goats. There's plenty of mountain goats over there.
So why would they have a lottery if there's plenty of them?
Well,
Or there's not that
there's
many?
for moose, the moose population is so high, right?
Gotcha.
It's incredibly high. There's like mooses in the city all the time. There's mooses in my backyard. There's a time I shouldn't have fed the moose, but I fed the moose. I
What do you
mean,
feed a moose?
carrots. They
Ouch.
love carrots. Like it was beautiful. It was a,
Those expensive organic carrots you're
you know,
giving to the moose.
sometimes you need to make a sacrifice for the greater good.
Oh,
Yeah. And it was a beautiful moose. I put it on Facebook, but it's the first time I pet a moose. I can't
it let
complain.
you pet.
Yeah, it let me
That's
pet it.
kind of brave. It must have been pretty friendly. I
Well, the
mean,
mooses are they're not docile, right? If they feel threatened, they will stomp you. And that's happened to plenty of people there.
oh
But I
yeah.
was like in the balcony where
Oh,
it couldn't reach me if it wanted to step. So I said,
oh,
if
okay.
if the balcony was right here, right, the moose was right here, and it could only reach up to its head.
Well, it could have
It
leaped
could,
up.
it could have. I mean,
Well, that's
hindsight is
interesting.
2020, right? But
Interesting.
yeah, I fed it the carrot, and it was like I want to say it was not a baby moose anymore, but it was definitely not a calf. It was probably in its teenage years at that
Mm,
point. And
cool.
mooses just need to be respected. I think most people don't understand that.
By the size of them, I'd give them a lot of respect.
Like I'm actually more afraid of mooses than I am bears over there. Like bears are pretty skittish.
Yeah, I would be way afraid of bears.
Not exactly. So
Oh
there's, I mean, the
God.
brown bears, I'm a little bit more afraid of. That's why I carry my, when I'm hiking, I always carry my 45 with me, just in case there's a bear. But there's also the the black bears are pretty.
They're
They're the size of medium-sized dogs over there,
oh.
for the most part. So when they see you, they get pretty skittish and just run away.
Now you're in Anchorage.
Yes.
So do you ever see polar bears? Do they ever be what? You know, I live on the Eastern Shore.
You're not the first person that asked me that. I actually went to I took my sister to a pool bar because she used to be a professional pool player at one point.
Oh wow.
And so she got her stick, I call it Gladys, right?
Oh.
And I wanted Gladys to get a taste of blood from college students. Yeah. And she actually did like really well, especially for not playing for years, right? And I met this guy, his name is AJ. Yeah, his name is AJ, and he's like, "Oh, you're from Alaska? Oh, what's the population?" I said one. And he yeah, it's like, "Do you see polar bears there?"
Oh.
And I said, "Yes, all the polar bears." All for some
He's so
reason
sarcastic, aren't
I
you?
love it. People gonna ask questions like that. I'm gonna just give them the answer they want. It's no different than my best friend Marcus, who is Asian, right? And people always ask him what kind of Asian he is,
Oh,
and he always says, "What Asian do you want me to be
oh
today?"
my
Right? So he
God.
just makes a random. He says, "I'm Filipino." No,
Oh,
I'm something else, right?
yeah.
But going back to it, is like when they're no, I don't see polar bears.
Oh,
I don't see.
thank you for the
Yeah,
truth.
the truth is
I was
no.
like,
I've never seen a polar bear. They're way, way up north, like way up north, like beyond, like in the Bering Sea, and they're really difficult. I mean, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing one. Maybe one day, but not yet. I've seen bears. I've seen black bears. I've seen brown bears. I've seen moose. I've seen foxes. I've seen every critter except for a polar bear. I even seen whales.
oh yeah.
Whales, the orca. Actually,
Oh yeah.
when I was living in southeast on the island of Wrangel, right, when I was canoeing, there was an orca whale like right next to me over there, and I
Oh,
thought to myself, "Oh my God, if it was a
yeah.
little bit closer, I would have been capsized."
Yeah, that would
So,
be frightening. But
yeah,
that's amazing.
it's
Yeah.
really a beautiful place, Alaska in general, with the wildlife, and even coming over here, I find incredibly beautiful too. Like it's a different kind of beauty.
God has a paintbrush wherever we go.
Exactly, and
It's
I love it.
fabulous.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love it, and I think it's just
Yeah.
it's the bee's knees over there just to see
I don't even
everything.
believe you know that phrase.
Yeah, I think I know a lot of different slang. Like, have you heard of the slang that the Gen Zs are saying?
I wouldn't recognize what it means. I mean, I've heard some of it, but it's like, oh, I don't know what that is.
So it's so funny because so my students taught me the slang,
Uh-huh.
right? And I actually joke around and just
Try
use
to
their
use it.
slang for, you know, as a joke,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yesterday when I was at the pool bar, there was the birthday party. This girl comes in, right? And I'm going to give you an example of the slang, right? She turned 22, and I told her, okay, oh my God, girl, you're 22? Like, no cap?
Oh,
She's
God.
like, yeah, girl, I'm 22 years old. Period. God, so great. Like, slay, girl, slay.
Oh, Lord.
Like
You
it,
put it all in there.
yeah, I put it all in there. It's like you have to get really enthusiastic, like, slay, girl, just slay. It just killed me. Yeah.
My granddaughter is a senior this year,
Oh boy.
so you know she's on Instagram and all that, and they're putting those words in there. I'm like,
Slay.
oh,
It's the funniest thing.
it's,
Like I think
oh man.
we came up with chill. I'll take that. You just gotta chill out. Like that was my thing. And the like abbreviations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't think of the ones that were popular. I don't know. My
Yeah.
old brain is wearing out.
So when you were an educator in Talbot County, do you have any what was your experiences with Talbot County?
I was really proud to work there. It
Yeah.
was considered one of the best school districts in the state,
Yeah, absolutely, for good reasons.
and we had the first computers for students.
I do
Oh,
remember that. We had the plaque on mine.
the what?
We had the plaque.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the plaque.
the plaque.
The plaque.
And well, there was one time, well, my students won the um stock game award for the
Okay.
state one year. Um, but yeah, there was an esprit de corps about being a teacher in Talbot County, and we thought we were the best.
Well, for good reasons.
And we were the first district that had a car for the teacher of the year
Really?
to drive for that year.
Maybe I should switch school districts.
Well, yeah, yeah, but now they're all copying that. So,
Oh,
yeah,
losers.
but it's okay. It's good.
I don't think
It's
so.
good incentive for the teachers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's really great.
Did you have Jeremy Hilliard for Spanish? Did you?
I didn't take Spanish. I
Oh, you
took
didn't take.
Latin.
Oh, okay.
So
So you had
Miss
Miss Coons.
Coons. Yeah,
Yeah,
Miss Coons. I don't know if she's even teaching in Talbot County.
she had twins.
I
Did
do
you know
know
that?
that.
I think she still might be there.
Yeah.
She still might be there. And so is Mr. Hilliard.
And
And
Mr. Berg. I know he's there
yeah.
too.
Did you have
Oh.
Miss Nori Blank? Oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. She taught English at the end of the hallway. Oh, what is my mind gone? Just blanked out. Just blanked out.
No worries.
Yeah. Mr. Burke, did you have Mr. Burke?
I did. He
Did-
was my homeroom teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good teacher. I liked him.
Yeah.
Very energetic guy.
Miss Schaefer,
Shave. Oh, I recognize the name. I don't
she was the
remember.
librarian.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. She retired. Miss Stamer, remember
Hmm.
that name? She's retired. In fact, in a couple days, we have a dinner once a month. Retired teachers have this little group that we celebrate monthly birthdays and go out to dinner together. And September's my birthday month,
Yeah.
so everybody will give me a card with $1 in it, a funny little card, and we have dinner. And then whoever has a birthday that month gets a card from all the rest of the people.
Very
So
nice.
it is nice. It's a good
Yeah,
way
that's
to
good to know
keep
that you're still
connected.
in the community.
Hmm.
Absolutely. You know, I was joking around with my wife and told her, it would be really funny if I decided to get a job in Talbot County. That would be really, really funny.
Yeah,
Just to,
so much, so much history there.
there's a lot of history with
For
that school with me.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it would be really fun to go back just as a teacher, just see the differences.
Wouldn't that be funny?
It would be.
God.
I don't think I'm that brave though.
Well, that's what Nori Bland was, one of my students. The first year what is her married name? I can't think of it. Burkhart. No,
Burkhart?
no. Is that it?
I don't know. I don't even know who Nori is.
Oh, she was a English teacher,
Yeah.
and she was a student there. Um, and several other people uh became teachers and came back. In fact, some of them went through the teacher academy
Okay.
and went back.
So how many of your
Did you know Katie Bishop?
Yes, Katie Bishop.
She's
She's a
back.
teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know that. I have her on Facebook and I've seen that
Okay.
she's a teacher now
Yeah.
for the Talbot County Public
Yeah.
School District.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So was it pretty with the teacher academy? How many students did become teachers
A
out of that?
lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't follow most of them, but just a couple. So
Yeah. That must be really
it
rewarding to
is.
see
It
the
is.
success of your labors from
Yeah.
teaching academy.
And I don't know if I could recommend teaching these days because it's so hard.
It's rough,
It's
yeah.
rough. Yeah.
I I
Our
would
kids are so bold and so violent these days. In Dorchester, anyway.
yeah.
They had 7 sheriffs, 5 police,
Hmm.
and about 5 state patrolmen there the other day, like the
Wow.
second day of school, for fighting at
Wow.
high school. And it's just out of, and a couple of staff people were injured. It's
It's rough. It's really
rough.
rough to be in teaching these days.
They should get combat pay.
They should get combat pay. I mean, quite literally sometimes. I don't know because I work with at-risk youth. For some reason, I never feel like I'm in danger of being in fights because, at least in their perspective, they know that that's our school, the safe zone, and we have people from gangs that go into our school too, like all this other stuff. But
How
then
many do you have in a group at one
at
time?
one time, like physically present, I
Yeah.
mean, at most it could be like 15 to 20 because we're a
Mm.
small office, right? And
That's
most of
still
it,
more than I would expect
yeah.
for that
Yeah, I mean, we at the
genre.
max we had about 500 students.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at 2023, 2024 we
What
had
grade levels?
ninth through 12th. Yeah. Yeah, like some kids come to our program really young at 15, 14, 15 before
Mm,
even going to high school, which is
hmm.
something I'm always really apprehensive about when they're that young, just because if you have 0 credits, you're going to a correspondence program, what most students need, especially at that young age, is
Yeah.
that stability and also the schedule, right? They need a
But you're
schedule.
not there physically? You're online
No,
or
I'm there
oh,
physically.
oh, okay.
Right? They come to me.
Physically.
Yeah, they
Okay.
come to me physically you know, to, for me to teach them what to do with different things, right? Because with what I do, I help with English, math, social studies, and science, right?
The basics.
I
Yeah,
cover the
that's what
basics
they need.
and help them along with the teaching textbooks and understand how to go through it and navigate it.
Hmm.
And as much as I hate math, but the really funny thing is that, especially in high school, I hated math. I don't know if you remember this or not. I don't know if I ever told you, but math was the bane of my existence. I
Oh,
hated that thing.
I don't think you told me.
No, I
I don't
hated
think you
it.
told
I
me.
hated it. It's actually the funny thing is, I don't know if you would have known this, but I almost didn't even graduate high school. Yeah, I almost didn't because of the MSA. Is it MSA, Maryland Assessment Test? The
Yes,
MSA.
those are the ones that are the bane of every
Yeah,
student.
I almost didn't graduate high school because I didn't get a score of 1602. And Mr. Burkhart was like, "Look, you're not going to graduate high school if you don't hit a 1602 at least." And I had the lowest scores in like English and math.
Look at you now, teacher.
That's the funny thing. So what happened was I scored really high in government, like really, really high. Like I have one of the best test scores in the state that gave me the basic requirement to
Oh,
graduate
my
high school.
good for
Like it was
you.
literally the one saving grace I had.
Because it averaged you up.
It averaged
Yeah.
me up. Like I don't even know how I pulled it off, to be honest with you, because I don't even think I studied for it. I
So
think,
that's why, okay, I watched the kids and what's happening, and you didn't have a yearbook.
yeah, I never
So
even bought the yearbook. I was
not
gonna
you.
ask you about that.
I do something like that every year with somebody in the senior year,
Yeah,
and anonymously. I can tell you now.
yeah. I always had my suspicion it was you, but I didn't confirm it. But now, 16 years
I
later,
could sign it for you.
I don't even have it. I have it
Oh,
at my house. I
yeah,
still have it.
that's funny.
Oh my gosh, that was such a funny year for me too. Um, I actually got elected as the mad scientist of the group
Oh, you
with
did? Yeah,
this other girl. I don't remember her name, right? And I was in my ROTC uniform. Yeah, which is
I didn't
actually
know
pretty.
that was even a
It was a thing,
category.
and I think it was actually pretty accurate too. I think it's a pretty accurate. Then I thought it was, well, this is stupid. There's no way. But now I think it's actually kind of an accurate
Yeah,
statement.
pretty cool.
But man, it was so funny because I remember because I wasn't the most popular kid in school back then, right?
None of us were.
No, I definitely wasn't. And the girl that was I hope she watches this podcast because I'm gonna call her out here. So the girl, she she was so disgusted that she had to take the picture with me. But if you look at the picture, right, I had like this straight face, and she's like,
Oh, maybe she's trying to be a mad scientist.
no, no, she was legitimately. I don't remember much about her, but I know that we were not exactly on talking terms back then.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, you would have to look it up
I
because
probably have that book.
it's pretty dang funny. So it's actually really funny. The high school was a very
2011, right?
2011. It was a very
Oh,
interesting experience. And 12th grade, I was kind of done at that point with high school. I was like, I want to get out. It's over. It's time for me to, it's time
Move
for me to
along.
be a peacock and spread my wings. But
Yeah, I remember you were always talking about going to Alaska.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was an interesting story too, because, during that time, the 11th and 12th grade, that was actually a really rough time in my own life, right? Because, my mom was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis during that time. And, every time we would go home, I thought she was going to be dead,
Oh,
right, for those two
oh
years.
my goodness.
Oh, no one knew. No one knew. She's doing better now for the most part, right?
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Like, for some reason, when she got to Alaska, maybe it's the cooler climate. I don't know what happened, but she made like a really good recovery after that. And one of the biggest reasons why we moved to Alaska in general is because my mom she thought she was going to die, right? And she always wanted us to go to Alaska. Sort of like her last thing for her
Wow.
to do was to bring us up to Alaska to migrate.
Well, I was the oldest of five, and my mother died when I was 17,
Yeah,
and it was rough,
yeah,
and rougher maybe for the younger ones, because the youngest was seven, and we had to fend for ourselves because my dad just lost it. He couldn't handle any of it.
it's rough.
So it's rough. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's why I know what kids have to deal with other than school.
yeah, and that's why I have a big heart for these at-risk youth. It's because one, I'm very proud to say in high school I did terribly for the most part.
You're very proud of that?
I am, and I'll tell you why, right? It's because it gives me a greater understanding of what they're going through, right?
Mm,
And,
surely
you
does.
know, it's like I tell every student is that academia is a portion of your life, but it's not who you are,
Yeah,
right? And I really feel that there's so much pressure to be so good at academics, which I'm not saying it's bad to be bad. I think it's great. If you're really good at it, it's wonderful. But some people are just not tuned into that frequency as well as other people too. So it
that's
actually
very
really
wise.
it destroys their self-esteem. Like for
Hmm.
me when I was in high school, because so I wasn't at the point where I was really good at academics,
Yeah.
right? I mean, in comparison to now, it's like when I in college I had like a 3.7 GPA and all that shenanigans, right?
I relate.
But
I was the same way.
yeah, and I
I was
think it just
exactly the
becomes
same.
it just comes from the point that when you become older and your brain's more developed, you're more geared to be
You're
able
more
to learn.
focused,
You're
you're
more
more
focused.
ready. Yeah.
But we have such a focus on like pounding into these kids. You gotta do really well in school. You gotta go to college. You gotta do all the steps, right? And if you step back and think about what type of damage this could do to kids that are just not ready for, they're not in that kind of
And no one's
mindset.
labeled to know. You don't know
Yeah, you don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
And like just going back to what I do now, that's why I'm really proud to say like I'm an academic failure in high school because
You can use yourself as an
I can use myself
example.
an example that
Good.
yeah, right now you're not good, but it doesn't mean you won't be good later.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Right now is doing what you need to do so you can graduate, so you can be able to make something out of yourself.
And I feel sorry for and I see this a lot, the kids in high school that were popular and did sports and they felt like they were on top of the world. They never progress. Some
It
of them.
depends, yeah.
Some
I
of them
mean,
are stuck there.
there's a
And
couple people I know, and I don't. I'll be the first one to say I don't keep up with many people, and you're one of the few people that I keep up with, and a few other people. So it's actually really great to see these people progress, right? And that's true, is that there's some people that are on top of the world that end up not succeeding. But there's always that how do I say it? There's always a stigma that popular kids don't end up making it well. And I think it's just really comes down to is perhaps because they were at the peak, they don't know what's beyond the plateau, right? And
mm,
maybe that's where the kerfuffle comes from.
or they didn't have to struggle for, what they wanted.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
And that may be the truth too. And, you know, I I really do believe that everyone has if they have, and this is what I tell my students too. I feel like I'm just giving you my babble of what I
That's
tell my
it. You're
students.
babbling.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to.
yeah, you're supposed to babble, I'm supposed to gaggle, right? So I always tell them is that if they have the purpose, they'll have the agency, and that agency will drive you to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. That's human nature. And that's like one of my students that I was telling you about. That's why he was so successful because he had the agency, the drive, and the purpose to be able to succeed.
Well, this is a day I never thought would come
Me neither.
when I would see you again, and it's just been wonderful. I'm so glad you thought of contacting me. It's
Me
great.
too.
Wanted to show off the Eastern Shore and
Exactly.
the 32 years that I've lived here, the longest I've lived anywhere.
Right. Yeah, Alaska's that way for me
Yeah,
now. Alaska's the longest
yeah.
place I live. But again, I really appreciate you being on the show and sharing your
Oh, you're
experiences.
welcome.
Thank you so much and inviting me to your house to be able to see this beautiful weather. You will not get this in Alaska, so sucks to be you guys. So, you know,
Yep, it's perfect. Good weather. Just for you.
I'll try not to roast.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Alaskan Babble, where they babble and I gaggle. You see, I got it right this time. Take care.